Hello and welcome to Saturday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where this puzzle on screen, which is remarkable, it's the sort of moth-eaten shirt from Michael Lefkowitz from yesterday, is not the puzzle I'm doing today. I've been asked to open today's puzzle live on camera, which normally means it's going to have nothing in it, or it's going to have some horrific rule set. And it's always quite exciting when I get to do this. So let's have a look. I will paste the link I've been given into the browser, and we will see what we will see. We have got Miracle Once Again, by Sumanta Mukherjee. I love Sumanta's puzzle. Sumanta is another of these constructors who frequent the Sudoku world, who just have really, really unusual brains. So let's. Oh, okay, all right. So we have Miracle Once Again. We have a complete miracle. Wow. There is literally nothing in the grid, as you can see. Let's have a look at the rules together and see what's going on. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply, i.e. place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, 3 by 3 box. Okay, so that's normal. There are no circles. A digit in a circle indicates how many circles contain that digit. Right. Oh, place some circles in the grid such that a box M contains exactly M number of circles. Boxes are numbered in normal reading order, so the top left box of the grid is box 1. The bottom right box is box 9. Okay, yeah, so box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's normal. I.e. box 1 should have 1 circle. So there's 1 circle in this box. Box 3 has 3 circles, 4 circles, 5 circles, etc. If a cell, e.g. row 1, column 1, contains a circle, then all the cells beneath it in the grid, 8 cells in this case, must contain circles. Okay, so if that was a circle, all of these would also be circles, is how I read that rule. No 2 9s in the grid may be separated by a single chess king's or a single chess knight's move, but every 9 must share a diagonal with at least one other 9. That cannot lead to a unique solution. That's completely bonkers. What? All right. Okay, so what I will just start by saying about this puzzle, I have no idea how difficult it is, it's probably monstrous, is that I really respect the rule set, because ever since the first Miracle Sudoku, Mitchell Lee's incredible puzzle, which just had a 1 and a 2 in the grid, constructors have been trying to come up with ever more extreme miracles, with many constructors have come up with miracle Sudokus that contain literally no digits, as Sumanta has in this case. But what I will tell you is that most of the miracle Sudokus we get sent have really, really, really long and difficult rule sets to understand. And what I do respect about this puzzle, without even having tried it or thought about it, is that this rule set is actually not too bad, given that it's a completely blank grid. Anyway, I will get to having a go at this in a moment or two's time. What do I need to tell you about first? I've got some announcements to do, birthday-wise and other things-wise, so I will do those in a minute. I'm still catching up post my vacation, so there's going to be more birthdays than usual for the next few videos. But the other thing is, over on Patreon, totally free, there is Sunny Jum's puzzle, Sumgens and Diagrams, which is an absolutely sensational mashup of Dungeons and Diagrams, which is the game that Mark and I have been streaming recently, and Sudoku. It is a brilliant puzzle, and you can play the puzzle. Just go over to Patreon. I'll put a link on the screen and try it. I will tell you, it's quite difficult. It took me over an hour to solve it. I did get a chance to solve it yesterday. If you want to see that solve, that is over on Patreon for those of you who support us over there. Yeah, so if you try Sunny Jum's puzzle, and you get stuck, you can watch me do battle with it. But what I really like about that puzzle is how well the hybrid is achieved. It really is a mashup of Dungeons and Diagrams and Sudoku. It's as perfect a mashup as you could possibly imagine, but you will need to know the rules of Dungeons and Diagrams quite well, I would suggest, to get through it. So that's over on Patreon right now. Do have a look. Now, other news. Let me do my birthdays and things. Well, actually, I'm going to start off by just wishing Leonie well. Leonie, thank you for writing to us. Leonie's just had a hip replacement and has been convalescing. I hope you're starting to feel better. And also another non-birthday announcement goes out to Aaron in Nashville, Tennessee, who, while I was away, celebrated the first anniversary of weight loss surgery. And Aaron's been good enough to share a picture and say that we can share this on the channel. This is absolutely remarkable. Where is it? Here we go. So this is Aaron. This is a journey over a year, and if I tell you that Aaron has lost 4 times the secret's worth of pounds, which I'll do the calculation, that is 180 pounds of weight in a year. That is absolutely startling. Well done, Aaron. Fantastic. So very well done. Aaron was keen to stress in his email that, you know, it is very much one day at a time journey, and it takes a lot of effort. I can well imagine. Good grief, but well done, Aaron. That is absolutely brilliant. Now we turn to birthdays, actual birthdays. Cacti, it's your birthday, and I know this because your friend Lump wrote to us. Lump is at a baby shower today and can't celebrate the birthday with you, but wanted us to shout out your birthday, Cacti. I hope these names mean things to you. Now next we've got a young birthday. I've got 2 young birthdays actually. Corey, it's your birthday, and you've turned 7 today. And I know this because your Auntie Rachel wrote to us, and she told us that you're the youngest of 4 at the moment, but you're about to be a big sister. Well, Corey, that's fantastic news, and I wish you all the best with that. And I hope that today, on your 7th birthday, or actually I might be out with the days because of my my vacation. But Corey, I hope you have a very good birthday, or had a very good birthday, and I hope it was filled with chocolate cake. And another young person whose birthday I think it is today, Harper, has turned 5, and I know this because your dad Justin wrote to us, Harper. And you're over there in Kansas, and he did share a couple of pictures. I'm delighted to see that at the age of 5 you're already playing chess, and that you have a healthy love of chocolate cake. And we got sent a couple of beautiful pictures. So Harper, many happy returns, and thank you for watching Cracking the Cryptic. Next, Jake, a little bit older, at 34, over there in New York City. Your wife Layla wrote to us, Jake, and said you'd appreciate a shout out. Many happy returns. Marco has turned 24 today, and I know this over there in Italy, I think, because Giulia wrote to us. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Giulia. And Marco, she wanted to let you know how proud she is of you, and just congratulate you on passing yet another exam on the journey to your physics degree. Oh, that's all of them. I've done them all. Well, there we go. I do like doing the birthdays and other announcements. I think, you know, if you listen to the news on any given day, there's quite often not much to smile about, but the birthdays on Cracking the Cryptic always make me smile. Anyway, let's turn our attention back to the Miracle Once Again by Sumanta Mukherjee. I've done the rules already, so all that's left to say is do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play, as always, is to click the link under the video. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Can I restart my clock? That's what I should do. Right, so now I've got to somehow get my brain to assimilate the rules. So, yeah, there was something about how many circles were in the grid. Yeah, so box 1 has 1 circle. Box 2 has 2 circles. So box 9 has 9 circles. I might as well put those in. So I'm going to use the pen tool to do that. If you don't have your pen tool enabled, you might not be able to do circles. The way to enable your pen tool is to click the cog icon, and you can see enable pen tool. I always have all my tools available to me. So what colour should we make our circle? Let's make them green. So there are 9 circles in this box. There are going to be 8 circles in box 8, etc. Okay, what? Okay. And we've got this thing about if a circle is here. Well, a circle can't be there, can it? Because there's the thing that says that if you put a circle in, so if I put a circle there, every cell beneath it has to be a circle. But in box 1, I'm only allowed to put 1 circle in. So the circle in box 1 has to be in row 3, because if I put it there, then that has to be a circle, and there'd be 2 circles in box 1. So I don't really know how to pencil mark that. There is a circle in one of those 3 cells. But I don't have a pencil mark for potentially a circle. Oh, the other thing we know is that the circle that does appear in box 1 will contain a 9, and that we know that because actually of box 9, don't we? Because okay. So we actually know that the puzzle contains 45 circles out of its 81 squares. And we know that because of the secret, of course. And the secret is something I share with only my very favourite people. But if you're watching this video still, you're definitely one of my favourite people. So the secret is, it is basically the sum of the digits 1 to 9. That is 45. But if we think about that in the context of circles, because there is a circled 9 in box 9, there must be 9 circled 9s in the puzzle. Because there is a circled 8 in box 9, there must be 8 circled 8s in the puzzle. There must be 7 circled 7s, etc. So the total number of circles is 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5, etc., etc., plus 1, which is 45. Now, because 9 9s have to be circled, and there are only 9 9s in the Sudoku puzzle, the single circle that exists in box 1 must be a circle, must be the circled 9. It must be the 9 in box 1, because otherwise we can't circle 9 9s in the puzzle. So every box has a circled 9 in it. Yeah, okay, but then box 2, which only has 2 circles in it, obviously one of those circles is going to be a circled 9. Ah. Yeah, okay. And I sort of know roughly where that goes, don't I? Because what I was going to go on to say before I started thinking about exactly where that 9 was, I was going to say the other digit that needs to be circled in box 2 must be the digit 8, because there are 8 circled digits. Sorry, there are 8 circled 8s in the puzzle, and I know that the 8 that lives in box 1 is not circled, because only the 9 is circled in box 1, because I can only put 1 circle in box 1. So, in order to circle 8 8s, every other box is 8 must be circled, and therefore one of the 2 circles that I have available in box 2 must circle an 8 as well as a 9. But we can go further than that, can't we? Because we know that the circle in box 1 must be in this row, there must be a 9 in one of those, and I can pencil mark 9s. I might not be able to pencil mark circles, but I can pencil mark 9s. And because I know the circle must be in this row, because if it was any higher, there would be a circle beneath it, and there's only 1 circle in here, the 9 in this row must be here, but that means the 9 in box 2 is restricted, because there are only 2 circles in box 2. And if I was to put a 9 up here, it would be circled, and it would require us to say I put 9 there. This would be circled, so would this, and so would this, and I'd have 3 circles in box 2, which I'm not allowed. So there is a 9 in one of those, which means there's a 9 in one of these. So this is probably why the instructions have given us extra rules about 9s, because we are at least being able to approximately position some 9s. Yeah, so for example, if that is a 9 in box 3, then we know it's circled. That's one of the things we would know. But we'd also know that the 2 digits, well, we know all the digits beneath it would have to be circled, because that's how the rules work. But we'd also know, yeah, so I mean, maybe this is what I meant to do. Because the 9 must be on top of an 8 in box 2. Because we know there's a circled 8 here, and it must be beneath the 9. And in this box, there's got to be a 9 and an 8 circled, so this would be an 8. And then we need 7 circled 7s, and we have had no circled 7s in these 2 boxes. So the other digit is a 7. So in this box there is a 9, 8, 7, but it might not be here. I don't know where it is. But wherever it is, there is a string of digits that goes 9, 8, 7 in either there, or there. Now, does this continue is the next question then. This is actually, I really like this. This is weird, but it's fascinating. Okay, so let's think about the 9 in box 4. Where is that? And the answer is in row 6. And the reason I think that's the answer anyway is, let's imagine this is a 9. So this is the single circled digit in box 1. Well, that tells us that all these digits are circled, doesn't it? But these digits can't be equal to 9. And there are 3 of them. So there are 3 of the 4 circles that exist in box 4. Box 4 has 4 circles. Those 3 are not circled 9s, but we know there's a circled 9 in box 4. So if we were to put that circled 9 in any of those positions, there would have to be a circle beneath it. And there can't be a circle beneath it, because then there'd be more than 4 circles in box 4. So actually, I don't know which of these is 9, but I do know that the 9 that is circled in box 4 is in one of those 3 positions, and then it's going to be cyclical, isn't it? So then, if this was, say, the 9 in box 2, we know all of these are circled, because everything beneath the 9 is going to be circled. None of these is a circled 9, so there are 3 circles that are not 9. And then, so the circled 9 that must exist in this box must be in row 5, because if it was in row 4, there'd be 6 circles in box 5, which is again impossible. It's a paradox. So there's 9s in there. By Sudoku, there's 9s in here. And then I'm guessing we're going 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, but I'm just going to check that is logical. So let's imagine that was a 9. Then we know all 3 of these are circled. Yeah, it is the same point, because if this is a 9, one of these is a 9. Let's say that one. So these are all circled. These are all circled. That's 6 circles in box 7, none of which can be a 9, but we know that there is a circled 9 in box 7. It could not be this high up, because everything beneath the 9 would then have to be circled, and there'd end up being 9 circles in this box. So the 9 must live in the bottom row. So if this was a 9 and this was a 9, that would be a 9, to be the circled 9 in box 7. So one of those is a 9. And the logic is just holding, isn't it? again, in box 8, there are 8 circles. But because there's 2 9s above it, there's going to be some pattern like this of circles that can't be a 9. So we're going to have to put and we can't put the 9 in this row because of the 9 in box 7. So we're going to have to put the 9 in one of those squares. We're going to have to put the 9 in one of those squares. Right. So, what do we do with this? Do we have to think about 8s now then? Or do we have to think about the special rule about 9s? I'm not sure. I must circle. I'm going to have a 9 here. Oh, I can't. The 8s are complicated, I think. I'm trying to work out whether I know where they go or not. It's a bit difficult because, I mean, if that's a 9, for example, we get 9, 8, 7 for sure. I want to say that wherever the 9 is here, we'll have 8 and 7 beneath it, but I'm not sure whether that's actually necessarily true. I think it's true. Let's just think about that. So if this is 9, 8, 7, then I know the 9 in box 6 is in one of these squares, and I know it has 2 circles beneath it. And I know these squares, which would be circled, cannot be 9, 8 or 7, and yet in this box there must be a circled 9, 8 and 7. So that, but would the 8 necessarily be beneath the 9? Or does that sort of depend on what's happened over here? Or maybe even underneath the 9 that appears in box 1. I'm unsure, actually. I'm not sure about that. That feels complicated. I might try... What's the rule about 9s? We've got no 2 9s in the grid can be separated by a single king's... So a single king's move in chess. So if that's a 9, for example, if that's a 9, this couldn't be a 9. Because they're a king's move apart in chess. Or a single knight's move. So if that's a 9, that couldn't be a 9 either. So if that's a 9, that's the only place you can put a 9 in box 4. That would be the 9 in box 1, so that would be the 9. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that is beautiful. Good grief. Wow. Okay, I love that. Right, that's wrong. I love it because it's wrong. Okay, so let me explain what I did there. I was looking at this cell and noting that if it was 9, if this specifically is 9, let's purple it. It's placing the 9 in box 4. Because of this king's knight's move restriction, neither of these could be a 9. So this would have to be the 9 in box 4. But look, this does see that cell by knight's move. So where do we put the 9 in box 1? It can't be here by sudoku because there's a purple 9 in its column, and it can't be here by knight's move, so it has to be there, which places 9 down here. But this 9 has all the potency of this 9, in the sense it rules these two out from being 9, so that would be the 9, which means that's a 9. And now this one has all the potency of this one. It knocks these two out from being 9, which places a 9 here. That one, on the knight's move, stops that being a 9. So you actually just get to place all the 9s. But although you can place all the 9s, and although actually now I stare at this, I can see that some of these work. But some of them, that one is the one I noticed didn't work. That one is not on a diagonal with another 9. I don't think. It's just not, is it? It's just not. So this cannot be right. because this one, right, so what that's going to mean is that this is broken as well, isn't it? Because that must be right. I mean, I can see. I don't think this one will work. So we've ruled basically none of these squares can be 9. But what I'm noticing is that this grid is rotationally symmetric vis-a-vis 9s. By which I mean that the logic that we've just applied to this one must apply exactly the same to that one. I mean, let's just prove that to ourselves. If that's a 9, then this would be the 9 in box 6. This would be the 9 in box 9, because this can't be 9. It's the same logic. We're just doing the same thing here. Now that one is potent, so that would be a 9. That's going to force a 9 here. It's forcing a 9 here. This one is taking care of that one, so that gets to be a 9, and that gets to be a 9. And by symmetry, this one should be broken. And it is. That one, all that. So what we've now done is we can say that the 9, effectively what we've proved is that the middle digit of this grid is a 9, because this one can't be a 9 and that one can't be a 9. So we can double click the purples and delete them, double click the greens and delete them, and we're left. Oh look. Oh, hang on. Actually, no, I can't do that. That's overzealous. It is true to say that this can't be a 9 in box 5, and it's true to say this can't be a 9 in box 5. So it is true to say that this is the 9 in box 5. That is our first digit. But I can't extrapolate from that. That's just inaccurate. That's inaccurate, because when I did the purples, I was noting what would happen to the pattern of 9s if I started from here. Now, if I start from here, I've got no idea what happens to the pattern. So I've got to be a bit careful, is what we've just learnt. Yeah, and in fact, this is going to be more complicated, isn't it? Let's get rid of the purple highlighting, get rid of the green highlighting, and think again. So we can take 9 out of those squares by Sudoku. We can take 9 out of these squares by Knight's Move Sudoku. See, that is more complicated now. This one has to end up. This cell has to have some 9s on its diagonals, but it can get them. Look. Sorry, just let me think about this. Right, yeah, okay, that is a good way to think about this, actually. This one, I don't think is 9. Because what I was looking at was these squares. So the rules say that we have to end up with 9s. However, whatever the pattern is of 9s, 9s have to share diagonals with other 9s, at least one other 9. So I know that given that this is definitively a 9, that there must be a 9 on either the positive diagonal or the negative, another 9, or the negative diagonal, or both, which means this one, this one, this one, or this one, or some combination or more of them, have to be 9s. Now, I was thinking about this square. If this is a 9, let's use colours again, let's use orange. So if this is a 9, you can see we immediately place 9 here using the Knight's Move and the King's Move restriction. We immediately get a 9 here, we immediately get a 9 here, we immediately get a 9 here, we get a 9 here, a 9 here, and a 9 here. That would be the pattern of 9s. And there is no overlap between orange and purple. And if there is no overlap between orange and purple, That cannot be correct. This is absolutely ridiculous. So now, well, now we need to check this one works or I've made an error, because yeah, again, sort of my brain is telling me that this won't work. Oh no, but it does work immediately up here. Yeah, because immediately I get that one as being blue, wouldn't I? Immediately I get this one as being... Oh, so there is some overlap between orange and blue. That one would be a... Oh, look, you get... So actually we get two on the same diagonal if we go for this one. Then it would be that 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 one. Oh, right. So if you go for this one... in row 2, column 6, rather than the orange one, actually, you get loads. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Because what I was then going to say is, but what about the other 9s? So what we're saying is, we've got this blue pattern of 9s that is actually going to be correct, isn't it? We know the orange pattern is wrong, so we can delete these. These are not 9s. Well, or let's stick with the blue pattern. But the thing I was worried about with the blue pattern is, yes, I could see it worked for the central cell. That certainly shares diagonals with other 9s. But I was worried about the other 9s here. But actually, they form a sort of beautiful pattern. There's sort of a rectangle that's being turned, and you can see that they're all on diagonals with other 9s. So this pattern looks very promising indeed. That is where I'm getting to. So we can immediately we know that we're in good shape with this pattern. So we can get rid of the purplification now. This is the correct pattern of 9s, I think. So now, well, now what do we have to do? So, well, this is great. This is great because we know that there's a circle digit here now in box 2, and we know that must be an 8. Yeah, and we know there's a circle digit under, these two are both circled in box 3. And now by Sudoku, because we know we need a circled 8 and a circled 7, we could just fill these squares in. So this column actually is okay, so what we should do now is we should plot the pattern of circles, which I'm not actually going to do using the pen tool because I'm going to do it with colours actually. So what we'll say is we can immediately just pencil in, colour in, which I can't do if I use the pen tool. All of those squares have to be circled in the puzzle. And we should find, and we would find, that there are 45 blue cells. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're adding up to the secret very naturally there. Right, okay. So these have to be 7 and 8, don't they? Because we know that in every box other than these two, there's always a circled 7. In every box other than this one, there's always a circled 8. So by Sudoku, so this must be 4, 5, and 6 by the same logic. This must be 8, 7, and 6 by the same logic. This I see. Yes, okay. So it is. Yeah, look! Oh, you're going to get this sort of stepping down effect. This is just so beautiful. So these squares have to be 7, 6, and 5. And again, it's just a count, isn't it? It's just a count. I've got tears in my eyes. It's so beautiful. And the reason we know these are 7, 6, and 5. Sorry to labour the point, but just in case you can't see why. It's because of the count. We know there are 9 9s in circles. We know there are 8 8s in circles. We know there are 7 7s in circles. So one of these has to be a circled 7. We know there are 6 6s. And we've got no circled 6s in the top 3 boxes. So every other box must have a circled 6. So one of these blue squares has to be a 6. There must be 5 circled 5s, and there are no circled 5s in these boxes. So it's But look what else is happening. It's sort of, we're going to go there, and then there's a circled 6, circled 6. That's going to be a 5, 5, 4, and it's just stepping down. I mean, I'm a bit scared to do it, but I bet you this goes 3, 2, 1. I bet you this goes 6, 5, 4. This is very clever. This is very clever. Okay, so these have to be 8, 7, 6, don't they? Still got a couple of rogue pencil mark 9s there. And these will have to be the other digits. So 3, 4, and 5. This has to be a 1 and a 2. We need to put a circle there. Yeah, I mean, maybe we just chase the 8s through the puzzle, chase the 7s through the puzzle. So that's got to be 8. That's got to be... Now where does the 7 go in this box? It's got to go there. Now where does the 6 go in this box, given it's got to be circled? It is. We're just stepping through. I don't think we need to sort of labour this point. It's just completely clear what's happening. Oh my goodness me. So that's got to be 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 1 in the corner, 2, 3, unsurprisingly. Now it's going to reverse with the low digits, because look, there's got to be a 1 by Sudoku here, which means there's a 1 by Sudoku there, there's a 2 by Sudoku there, that's going to be a 1, 2, 3. It's just ridiculous. Oh my goodness me. This is it's completely ridiculous. This is something utterly beautiful, isn't it? 1, 1, then that's going to be 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is the solution to this puzzle, I think. Let's see. Solve count of 1. Okay, I'm the first person to solve this puzzle, and I don't think I'm going to be the last. That is a miraculous piece of setting genius. It's a discovery. That's one thing we always say when we see these incredible blank grids, you know, with a weird rule set that create a finished grid like this. It is a discovery on behalf of the constructor. It's something that existed in nature, and all we had to do is, like a paleontologist, is gradually scrape away at the universe of Sudokus, and suddenly this thing has been revealed, which is so utterly remarkable. Sumanta, that is absolutely beautiful. What a puzzle. What a puzzle. Please, I hope you've had a go at this. I hope you've had a go at it. I hope you leave a kind comment about Sumanta's setting genius, because this deserves a lot of plaudits. That is wonderful. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.